I know Chiggs is in here recording this.
No Chid Smooth in here, right? So whatever you say,
you know, Chig gonna have everything up there.
Whatever you say, Chid's gonna be on YouTube with it, man.
NBA superstar Luka Doncic was just traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers overnight, completely shocking the entire NBA world. It seems like everybody found out on their own time. Kevin Durant found out during a game, and it seems like Kendrick Perkins found out while he was out at the club. And of course, the trading of a 25-year-old superstar will always come with speculation as people try to figure out why Luka was traded in the middle of the night, in the middle of the season, which usually doesn't happen to superstars. That's reserved for bench players. What's up, y'all? Is your man Talking's World reporting for the Chig Smooth channel? We gotta talk about this. And before we get into how everyone feels about the situation, of course people would automatically blame LeBron for trading AD in the middle of the night, with even CBS Sports reporting, quote, LeBron has grown frustrated with Anthony Davis. NBA Insider asked sports writer with some insights on how the Lakers got to this point. But LeBron would not take that lightly and respond directly to them saying, you a effing lie, with clown emojis. So clearly LeBron does not want to be tied or be made responsible for this trade. Which, okay, that gives us LeBron's point of view, but it doesn't really tell us the whole story as to why the Mavericks would trade their 25-year-old superstar. But before we get into that speculation, here's all the artists and players who's had something to say so far. Kevin Durant learned about the trade mid-game, as you see here. And then after the game, when asked about it, he said he didn't expect such a young superstar like Luka to be traded at this point of the season. Especially because the players get held at a different standard of loyalty than the teams or their owners or the coaches. Everybody else is able to make trades and move on with their lives, but when the players do it for their own life, for their own livelihoods, for their own sanity sometimes, the fans of those teams will hate the players for moving on. But nobody seems to have that energy for the GMs or the owners of said teams.
Into the trade.
Insane, it's crazy. Yeah, would have never thought Luka Doncic would get traded at this age, mid-season. Yes, NBA is a wild place, man. If he can get traded, then anybody's up, for grabs, So yeah, so the fans, by spectating is pretty fun. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking, probably for Luka and everybody in Dallas, LA, AD. So everybody involved, I'm sure, their heads are spinning right now.
And just as a player, does this kind of underscore the transactional nature of this business?
It's always been transactional. The players are held to a different standard of loyalty and commitment to a program. But the organizations don't get held to that same standard from the outside world, either whether from media members or fans. And we all should be held to that same standard. Like, it's a transactional game. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of business involved too. So we shouldn't be too shocked about trades or guys moving to different teams or coaches moving to different teams. It's just the nature of playing basketball and us making this much money involved too. So it's pretty wild times, man, in NBA, especially around trade deadline time. I know everybody's gonna be watching their phone the next week.
KD will also talk about the adjustments a team will have to make getting new players and having some of your players traded away, whether they're the superstar or not.
They went to the finals last year. I mean, does that underscore it even more? Like, this team just went to the finals and their best player just got traded?
Yeah, man, yeah. I mean, yeah, I dealt with that too, coming out the finals and you trade a huge part of your team. And it just takes something away. It takes something away. It takes your identity away, especially when you have success. You got to kind of reshape your team and figure out who you are as a unit. With a new guy coming in. But they have veteran players over there. Kyrie's a champ already. AD's a champ, so I'm sure they'll figure it out pretty quickly. But it's just the nature of the sport, man. Anything can happen, man. Keep you on edge.
KD then breaks down how teams are now going to be more bold and that this move is the biggest trade in NBA history because this may be a signal that teams are no longer thinking twice about trading their superstar talent.
Do you think it'll force other teams to do something big?
For sure. I mean, you start seeing stuff like that, and you, as an organization, you might get a little bit more courage to do some stuff when you see another team trade away somebody like that.
Right.
This got to be the biggest trade I've seen since I've been in the league or since I've been watching the sport. This is insane. So yeah, every other team might get confidence and say, I'll trade my, you know what I'm saying? My top players, a few of my top players. Like, if this ain't working, but yeah, I'm still shocked.
How did you find out?
Last one.
Man, a couple fans was just on their phone during the game in the fourth quarter and just said, Luka got traded. I'm like, what the fuck? And then our security guys showed me his phone. I'm like, oh, yeah, I seen Shams. When Shams tweeted, you know it's the show.
Lil Wayne tweeted, Lord have mercy, cause my Lakers are obviously merciless. This about to get crazy, Slime. Laker Luka? Wow. And then California native Vince Staples will say, we have returned to the era of the white Laker. And when sports reporter Shams reported the news, nobody could believe it, as Jalen Brunson would say, wow, and then he would tweet out, April Fools, right? That sentiment will continue, Joel Embiid saying, wow, no effing way. And even the former superstar Maverick, Dirk Nowitzki, will also be shocked, along with Giannis, who posted, it's a cold world. But CJ McCollum would take a smart route, teaching players to be prepared for moments like this, saying, gotta pack them bags just in case nowadays. If the Don got traded, only Lord knows. That's also the first reported sighting of anyone ever calling Luka Doncic the Don. But not all responses were just shock. Some people try to give an analysis of what happened. As Paul Pierce would say, Luka must have wanted out. No way. They're gonna let LeBron groom Luka to be the face of the league on the Lakers. Luka and AD needed some fresh air. He will continue, LeBron and Luka I don't see fitting. Both need the ball too much. Trade Bron and Bronny back to Cleveland. Building around Luka is the only way to save the Lakers. He's not the superstar LA needs. Doesn't fit the mold. Magic, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron. Just saying though, bad move. Do you agree that this is a bad move for the Lakers? Let me know in the comment section. And so far, the funniest response to this trade was the Dallas Mavericks posting a Devin Booker meme with the caption, okay, last one, we swear. And then Devin Booker responded to that post saying they kept their word. Were the Mavericks digital media team trying to tell us something all along? But now that takes us to a more speculative side. As Tristan Thompson would say, this wasn't on my bingo card for Saturday night. Luka getting traded from Dallas has to have a deeper story behind it. This just doesn't happen on a random Saturday night. And there seems to be some truth behind it, as Brian Windhorst would report that this trade was initiated by the Mavericks to the Lakers. Not an open market trade. It was one owner calling out and reaching out and making backroom deals with another owner of a team. This wasn't a, I need a best offer for my best player. Take a listen.
They are not auctioning him off. They are not letting the league know, come to us with your highest bid. This was a pocket deal. This was like a $1 billion mansion changing hands where there was only one bidder as far as we know. And not only that, they didn't even get the entire package from the Lakers.
Brian Windhorst will also get into more detail as to why he believes the Mavs would trade away their superstar for purely basketball reasons.
Them saying that they don't think they can win with him. They're worried about the kind of defense he plays. They're worried about the kind of way he keeps himself in condition. They're worried, obviously, about his ability to focus at the biggest moments. As you know, Phil, I have felt this way about Luka before, but I have always felt he would get past it. I would felt that there would be part of his story. He is 25 years old and he has already qualified for the Supermax, which he was eligible to sign this year. There was no way he wasn't going to sign that contract. He was going to be committed to the Dallas Mavericks. This was a player who was locked in. It was going to be a question of, could he win 2 or 3 MVPs? Could he win 1 or multiple championships? And it was the Dallas Mavericks who are pulling the plug on that.
But not all the fans will be happy about the trade, as someone will respond to that post saying Mavs ownership should intervene. The NBA should block and reject it. And the Mavs GM should be fired immediately and investigated. Moving on from Luka is incompetent. Giving him away for practically nothing and only 1 first-round draft pick in 2029 is suspicious. But then that comment is responded to with the post of Brad Townsend, as they said, I'm told that this was Nico Harrison's deal, that it took several weeks to play out after the Mavericks reached out to the Lakers, and that Harrison got full support from Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont. So at this point, it seems like LeBron wasn't playing GM and making moves behind the team's back. It seems like the owners of the teams were making this deal without the players per se. But Kendrick Perkins, while being out and about, hitting the streets, painting the town red, would get the news and immediately start to attack anybody who would dare try to blame LeBron for making this trade happen.
Man, y'all stop with them.
Now, Kendrick Perkins does make some good points, but being that AD is signed to Clutch Sports, and this deal took a couple weeks to figure out, it's very possible that the players knew because their agents had to have known. And then people would try to find their own reasons for why this trade happened. As someone would say, it's strictly political. Addison family is trying to build a casino in Dallas, so they had to offload some assets, Luka being the largest. It's bigger than LeBron and bigger than the NBA. Hence the phrasing, quote, this trade was done in the shadows, billionaire shadows. Now, this may seem a little far-fetched, but Luka was on pace to sign a Supermax deal worth $345 million. Was this trade just a result of some billionaire owners trying to free up some cash? What do you think about this situation? Do you agree with the trade? Are you happy for both teams? Do you think this changes anything going forward? And if you have more speculation as to why this happened, let me know in the comment section. Peace.